Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week at Shrouded, episode 63. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, AGreener, co-host Mr. Wrecked. I guess he's over here. Thanks for being here with me. Woo!
High energy.
High energy, baby. Let's go. So we got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff entering the Destiny content vault. We're going to be talking about all the ability sandbox changes that came through, all the Bungie nonsense for this whole week, because there's been a lot of it. The armor sandbox changes. We're going to hit on some points. We're not going to go through every little detail. If you want to go through every little detail, I'll link the Bungie articles down below. You're more than welcome to check them out and get every little bit of information you can. But we'll be hitting most of the high notes today. Then we're going to go over the TWID. Some bonus stuff in there. Talk about the new, what were they called? Developer something or others. The vid docs, the two vid docs, and then that thing, whatever it's called, the Pathfinder system. Well, we've talked about that in the past. I don't think we've gotten any real additional information, but there's some stuff in there. Have a little chat about. But I think we get started with the big list of things today. The ability sandbox changes. But before we get to that, I'm going to announce our silver winners for the week. So, first off, if you didn't know, the Shrouded Gaming community is a huge Destiny community where we do lots of things in Destiny at our Discord. Check it out, shroudedgaming.com/Discord. Get you right in there. Maybe join one of our 24 clans. If you don't want to, you can just chill, LFG, maybe join some events, earn some loyalty points, and then you'd have a chance at winning some of this silver as well. Because we try to give away silver every week, and then a bigger pot once a month. But this week, 2,300 silver goes to Aaron at home and Devilito666. Congratulations. Reach out to me, AGreener, in our Discord. Once again, shroudedgaming.com/Discord. And you will be able to get your brand new silver right in time for the final shape. Because you know there's going to be loads of stuff in the Eververse store. Maybe. We'll see. I remember saving a bunch of silver up for when Witch Queen dropped. And I barely bought anything because there was nothing interesting in there. And I did the same thing for Lightfall, and once again, barely bought anything. I was so sad. Like, I'm talking, I had like $200 worth of silver just sitting there. And I almost bought nothing. Both years, right on launch, which is crazy to me, but whatever. I'm not the one. I'm not the one making it. Alright, let's start with the ability sandbox changes. Like I said, I've got some notes here. We're going to go over them. One at a time. Rect, if there's anything you want to touch on, feel free to let me know. If there's anything I skip over that you think was super important, feel free to let me know. But let's do it. I'm going to put it on my... Okay, yeah.
I mean, I got some thoughts just about the changes in general, and that has to do with the community and how they react to these things. There is like this overwhelming negativity about any time Bungie makes any kind of changes, right? Let me just give you a for instance, right? Here we go. So let's just take a little gander at the forums. All right, we're on new for just the Destiny 2 section, right? If I look at this, let's see. Bungie hates warlocks. When are you removing warlocks from the game completely? These changes are making the game boring. I'm not pre-ordering anything. Concern. Let me switch it to just Destiny 2. If we go to trending, Bungie hates you. Bungie forgot about players. Bungie hates you. I'm not pre-ordering. I hate Bungie. This is underwhelming. The Cosmodrome sucks. The game is boring. Fuck you for taking my legendary shards. Stop nerfing classes and exotics. You know, Sunbracer's nerf, that isn't really a nerf anyway. Out of pocket. Dissonance, difficult. Too many nerfs, you know. And this is like a theme every single time Bungie nerfs anything, or anytime they do any kind of sandbox changes, right? I think the Destiny community is like, it's gotten to the point that it's like terminally black-pilled and just fucking negative all the time. And listen, we all know that the Destiny community has a reputation for being a little toxic, but it's gotten so much worse. Like, I have never seen so many people bitch and moan about a game and unironically, at least seeming so, without trying to be bait, saying things like, Bungie is purposefully screwing players. Bungie is purposefully bait and switching players. Bungie hates players. Yet they still play the game. I don't understand. Like, I don't know what your feeling is about, like, the Bungie development cycle, but it is very clear from the way the game's been going for a while that we have like 2 sandbox changes a year, right? One at the beginning of every. We have one at the start of every expansion, and usually one every season, right? So I guess 4 per year, going to 3 or 4 with the new episodes, right? And every time this happens, Bungie will look at all the stuff that's out of band and they'll adjust it down. So like a famous example is Young Ahamkara Spine. You remember when that was the exotic du jour for hunters, where you could just be like, I'm throwing a grenade, I'm throwing some knives, I'm throwing a gunpowder gamble, I'm throwing a grenade, I'm throwing some knives, over and over and over again. And when you got the bosses, you could just be like, grenade, 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 grenade. It was fun. But it was the only thing you were playing on Hunter at the time, right? So it was out of band, and so it caught a nerf. Like, so Bungie, every time they have a content drop, or once a season, they'll come through and they'll adjust things. And when they do that, whatever is hot in the meta at the moment will usually get some kind of hit. Almost always not nerfed to the point of uselessness, although, I mean, in some cases, like Young Hamakara Spine, maybe hit a little too hard. But then other things rise to the surface that end up being pretty much just as powerful, if not more so, than whatever the previous meta was. Maybe the gameplay loop isn't exactly the same, but there's stuff that's just as good, basically. And it's been that way forever, right? It like encourages people to go find new things. And figure out new ways to play and create new builds and whatever. But the community just loses their shit every time. And I don't get how people can be so angry all the time at a game and still engage in the community and still play the game. So, I also really dislike the fact that every time they do this, it's fucking, you're only doing this because Salt Grepo or Asdacross or Fallout or content creator du jour is the one who said it, even though I don't think Bungie actually listens to any of them. There have been a few things that have been coincidentally happened around the same time, but I don't think Bungie has the facilities to like see Salt Grepo call for a divinity nerf and then they just code a divinity nerf within a few weeks, right? Like, that's kind of the timing where divinity got nerfed the last time. And people still say to this day, it's Salt's fault. Even though Bungie was probably working on that for months ahead of time. So, I don't get where people are coming from like this. I don't understand why they keep playing the game. And I wish they would stop being such fucking whiny bitches about it. For Christ's sake, go play something else. Please. Anyway. You people suck that complain all the time when you're doing it unironically. It's fun when we're bitching about the game, but we still like the game. It's not fun when you're bitching about the game and you seemingly hate it, but you're still playing it anyway. It's actually kind of sad. Go seek some help. Find a professional. Put the game down. Step away from it. Actually go touch some grass. Do something. All right? I know you've got like a 60-hour job and 43 kids and a dog and a cat, and so you're mad that you can't grind out things like Pantheon, but fuck it, dude. Just stop playing if it's giving you that much heartburn. Please. That's all.
That was
That's
good.
my preamble to us going into these changes.
Okay, so no, that's good. Like, I agree with mostly. It drives me nuts. I don't know. I don't know how people are game developers in 2024. To be completely frank, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to put up with people. I would do exactly what that Helldivers moderator did, and he got fired for it. So yeah. I'd be out of there so fast. Except for instead of saying something like, "Oh, I thought you were leaving and pre-ordering," I'd be like, "Yo, fuckface, shut your fucking mouth, you stupid piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. This is our game, not yours. Eat a dick." That would be what I say. And then I'd be like, "All right, see you guys. It's been good knowing you. Legendary."
I mean, all I'm saying is if the game is making you this miserable,
yeah, like stop playing it.
If a quote nerf to well has just ended your ability to play the game, then just stop fucking playing the game. You need to reassess your life fucking priorities. It's not that deep.
It's also not that hard. Like, I don't know why people are such a laying on a well crutch. Like, we've been using well for like ever, like since the beginning of time at this point. And we did Pantheon not long ago with 600s. We had no trouble not dying, you know?
Yeah. But Greener, if you think well is boring, just don't use it.
All right. I won't. Because it sucks now. Get fucked, idiots. You know what? Well's still going to be used. Like, it's still got a damage resistance. It's still got a heal. Obviously it's not as crazy by any means, but it's gonna be fine. I assume it probably stacks with other heals, so you're gonna have a well with a couple people healing grenades, and it's still gonna have the same effect. The damage buff is a lot lower, but there's probably gonna be other ways to buff your damage. Like, it's gonna require just a bit more mechanics to get the same kind of output. If you're not willing to like learn how to do those, then that's your own problem. Like,
all right, let's hit your notes.
All right, where'd they go? Not that. I was going. Okay, ability sandbox changes. Okay, we're gonna start off with stasis, right off the top of Reno. So there's a new buff, frost armor, damage resistance that increases with stacks, replaces stasis shard overshield, 4 or 5 per stack, 4.5% in PvE, 2% in PvP. Last 9 seconds. 13 if you have Whisper of the Rhyme on, up to 5 stacks, 8 stacks with Whisper of the Rhyme. So if you got Whisper of the Rhyme, it's better. And remains active in super with lower effectiveness. There's a perfect example right there. Oh wait, your damage resistance is in well is worse. Oh, here's a new buff that increases your armor. Yeah, I know that it's not solving the problem, but it's just. That's the type of stuff you're going to see that comes into effect, you know.
Folks are saying that stasis is dead because of this, and I'm like, it's a 36% damage. It's 36% DR that you can build up and has a timer even if you're away from whatever is giving you the bonus. Like renewal grasps give it to you immediately right now, but it's going to go to the frost armor instead afterwards. Slightly less. I think the resist that you can get from stasis right now, I think it's 40%, so it's going to be slightly less. But stasis shards are going to be flowing like candy. They should be easy to pick up, and it should be easy to refresh that perk, and you'll be able to take it away from the triggers that used to give it to you before, right?
Yes.
It sounds comparable to me, if your kind of player likes to move around while you play, not rather than just sit in something and get your buff.
Yes. Stasis is dead. Jesus Christ. People are so fucking dramatic. All right. There's a new fragment, Whisper of Chill. Stasis weapon kills have a chance to create a shard. So there you go. There's more shards for your frost armor. And another new fragment called Whisper of Reversal. Dealing or receiving non-projectile melee slows the victim or attackers while frost armor is active. Okay, Whisper of the Rhyme. So there's a plus and a negative here. Increases stat counter and duration of the frost armor, but no longer grants stasis shard overshield. People lost their mind for that one, though. Yeah? Yeah? No overshield?
Yes. A lot of people, especially that play Titan, that play Behemoth Titan, were unhappy about this, but I'm okay with more DR because the DR stacks with like resilience DR or other DR. They're multiplicative stacks. So like the 30% that you get off 100 resilience that pretty much everybody runs with in PvE anyway will stack multiplicative, but you know what I mean. It's gonna stack with this, right? So it'll probably give you like, I'm just trying to do the rough math in my head, but it'll probably be another 12 or 13% total on top of the 36% base. So we're talking like 49% with whatever the additional increase from having Whisper of Rhyme is going to be. So it's going to get that should give you a higher bonus and more stacks, basically, is what it sounds like. I mean, we'll have to wait to see, but that's what it sounds like. So, somewhere around 50% DR for like shattering some crystals.
Seems pretty good.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Yes, indeed. Then we'll move on to Whisper of Chains, which same thing, remove and add. Damage resist near a crystal hold on. Damage resist near or crystal or a frozen target. But it removed that, right? I didn't write that proper.
Yeah.
Okay, it did. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. There's no longer grants.
No passive resistance.
Okay, all right.
Crystal or
but what it's adding is chance for stasis shard on any kill while in frost armor.
Yeah, that's allowing you to refresh your buff.
Exactly. Whisper of Fractures, remove the increased melee region when surrounded. Added grants a stack of frost armor while shattering with melee. So basically, all of this stuff is obviously centered around the frost armor.
Yeah, because frost armor is becoming a new keystone. It's a capstone ability for stasis now.
Yeah. So on the Whisper of Torment buff here, grenade energy gains are no longer based on current health. Increased energy gained with frost armor active. So there you go. Tectonic, Glacial, and Grim Harvest. So stasis shards grants a stack of frost armor and a small amount of health. Large stasis shards grant more health and stacks. Cooldown for rapid shard creation now standardized. And Tectonic creates a shard on frozen target shatter. Those are all adds. Those are all things that are being added to it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna a lot more healing and, like you said, a little bit lower armor. But at the end of the day, with all this stuff, the DR is going to be very nice. The DR and the healing. You're getting a bunch of healing from shards now too. Actually, I don't know if that did that before. I don't play stasis a lot. Do you get healing from shards at all? Or is there anything that does that for you?
No.
No, okay. See, there's a bunch of healing here.
Shards grant overshield with Rhyme, and they recharge melee ability.
All right. Yeah.
Currently.
So there you go. Lots of survivability for all you people worried about dying. Shatter. All right, here we go, baby. Did people lose their mind over this?
Shatter is the bigger change for sure.
Yeah, PvE damage doubled for Shatter. Too bad that wasn't PvP damage. Nah, just kidding.
They're not taking us back to the Shatter days.
Can we go back, please? That was the best season in history. It wasn't even a full season. It was like a month.
Also, keep in mind that this is not talking about shattering crystals. This is talking about shattering people that were frozen.
Oh, okay,
Enemies
boring.
that are frozen.
Never mind. You're right. It doesn't say Shatter Dive or anything. All right, anyway. Fix double shatter instances when bosses auto-shatter. So, there you go. Ice Flare Bolts, maximum number of Seekers up to 7. Winter Shroud, added slowing targets, increased class ability region, a little bit less in PvP. And then PvE damage reduction on class ability cast. Touch of Winter, buffed +1 stasis crystal. Wait, yeah, it added stasis crystal. And then the formation duration is lower. I think I didn't write that.
It takes a minute. It takes a quarter of a second for the crystals to get created, whereas before it was instant.
Yeah, okay. So I don't use stasis enough. Yeah, I haven't used it in a while, actually. I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, Cold Snap. They removed additional Seeker on chain, and then they added Seekers now duplicate on a target freeze, and the second and third Seekers now create a medium and large crystal respectively. So there you are. I just drew on this. That's funny. Oh my god, I just learned something. Never mind, don't worry about it. Sansa Squall, buff maximum travel speed. Oh no. I always hate running away from that shit. Anyway, damage to slow stacks in PvE. That's cool. Slows down on any target reach to prevent overshooting.
And the PvE damage is about 40% higher, so pretty good.
Yeah, that'll be good. Good PvE buff. Shiver Strike PvE damage going up as well, and targeting reach and speed went up. Glacial Quake, automatic sprinting on forward movement. Whatever. Okay, sure. People have trouble hitting their sprint button.
Apparently.
All right, Cryoclasm, sprint time requirement. They removed that. And
it used to be you had to charge it up like you did like a shoulder charge. You run and that charges it.
But now there is a 4-second cooldown.
Yeah, so there's been some discussion online about whether or not exactly how that 4 seconds is going to work. Sounds like it's going to be you use it, you get it back in 4 seconds, rather than having to sprint, right? And that's it. But I guess we'll see.
I assume that's what I would assume reading it that way. Okay, so Diamond Lance has its detonation radius buffed, pickup time lowered, and the pickup interaction radius is higher as well, so you don't have to be as close.
Diamond Lance got giga buffed.
Yeah, and it added the shatter crystals. Ugh, Jesus. Yeah. So, and I've never used that ever. That's only a Titan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you can use it. This will all apply to.
Yeah, I can pick
one, and you go pick it up.
Yeah, yeah. We can pick them up, but I've never ran a Titan with that on, ever in history. That's all I have for stasis.
Yep.
We can move on to the void. So Ward of Dawn. Some people have been talking about this a little bit. They replaced Armor of Light with Void Overshield and additional damage resistance.
Listen, I don't want to get too far afield, but a little diversion from what we're talking about here. Did you happen to peruse Salt's commentary about this, but more importantly, the comments underneath his post about this? Mwah, 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 mwah. It was such good reading. It was really the Destiny community showing who they are.
I saw him comment on it, and he had mentioned he's like, now let's see how long it takes for the people to blame me.
Instantly.
I didn't go through. I couldn't do it. I was like, oh man, like we've given Salt a hard time, we've given Cassie a hard time, we've given I specifically have given Lucky a hard time, but like nobody deserves that shit, man. Like,
I will say this: I saw no overt death threats.
that's good.
But
he got those in DMs. Don't worry, probably.
But some understated.
Jesus Christ! Sleep with one eye open, motherfucker. That stuff's crazy to me, though. Like, it's whatever. Like, you guys blame people like Salt. And you call him like an elitist that wants the game to be harder or whatever. But in reality, like, even if Bungie's likely not taking their cues from him, but the concept is the same. He does play the game a lot. Who's going to know more about the game than somebody who plays the game as much as they do?
His stated goal isn't even make the game more difficult. He does want higher difficulty settings for people that want that stuff. But what he really wants, what he's been consistent about saying every time, is he wants a sandbox where there is more diversity in what you can play to be successful.
Yes.
And where there's no meta that forces you down a specific road to be successful in the content of Destiny that Bungie provides you. That's it. That's what he wants. But that's not the message people get. The message people get is he wants everything to be harder because he's an elitist streamer, because he's got time to play the game 47 hours a day, because that's all he does.
Anyway, it's true, but my point was kind of a hark on what you said earlier, is where some things happen to coincide with him saying it online, and then a nerf comes in. My point was, he plays the game, a lot more than, well, maybe not you, but a lot more than most people. So the reason those buffs and nerfs come in, as he's mentioned them, is because he understands the concept of the game, just like Bungie does. So it's a coincidence. Nobody at Bungie is trolling Salt's comments, or not trolling, but like perusing Salt's comments and be like, oh, yeah, he's right.
People see those comments, and their reaction, the ones that get mad, their reaction is, he wants the game to be like a better experience for him, so he's only pointing out issues that direct him that he wants for himself specifically, like that apply directly to the game he's playing. That's not even the case. He plays the game a lot. He understands how the mechanics work, and he can see how the game can be a better experience, a more engaging experience for everybody, and that's what he's pushing for.
Yeah. Even
if you don't like his suggestions, that is the space, that is the spot, that's the place where his suggestions are coming from. It's not, fuck the casuals, I want the game to be hard so I can have a good time with it. It's, what can we do to make the game better for everyone? Like, they completely overlook where nerfs happen, and he's like, well, this is fucking stupid. Nobody needed this. Like the Lament nerf. He was like, this is fucking stupid. Nobody needed this. The Divinity nerf. The new Divinity nerf. He's like, this is fucking stupid. They already nerfed this shit. Why are you going to make it harder to use? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, but people just like ignore that stuff and go straight to, you wanted well nerf, and now I won't be able to do a raid anymore because I suck at this game because I work 47 hours and have 23 kids.
Yeah, everybody has 23 kids and works 2 full-time jobs or some shit. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what?
All right.
I have kids. I work a full-time job. I run a Destiny community, which takes away even more of my gaming time. And guess what? I can still play the game. I just got Godslayer yesterday. Let's go, baby.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, people are just always coming up with excuses. And I like playing other games too. Like, a lot. Like, so, if you want the time, you can come up with it. If you don't want the time, you just want to make excuses as to why you fucking suck at everything, then keep on keeping on, I guess. I don't know. All right, so we were talking about the replace armor light, the void overshield, additional damage resistance, significantly less in PvP. That's good. I do hate it PvP. So, wait,
are we talking about well? Or are we talking about ward? What are we
Ward
talking
of
about
Dawn.
first? Oh,
Ward of Dawn. Ward of Dawn.
Okay.
Void.
Okay.
Void. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so armor of light is replaced with void overshield. With additional damage resistances. So basically, like I was saying before, is you're gonna use bubble for survivability, and then you can walk into a well with your damage resistance on, get the damage buff, and start shooting people, and then go back and forth. So it was like the opposite concept of what we used to do it. So we used to get the damage buff from the well, or it was from the bubble. Anyway, doesn't matter. But it's the DR now that we want from the bubble.
So let me just make sure that this is clear. Again, the same math as earlier. I've actually done the math on this one. If you have 100 resilience and you are being affected by Armor of Light, the 30% plus 60% results in a 72% damage resistance from all incoming damage. So it's pretty significant. And I don't know if people just don't know this. Like, you can fight from a bubble. You can shoot things that are outside a bubble while you're still getting the Armor of Light bonus. The full Armor of Light bonus. All you got to do is stand on the edge of the bubble. As long as you've got 1 foot in the bubble and your gun and your head is sticking out of it, you can still shoot out of the bubble. So all you got to do is, if you want to maintain kind of a semblance of what we have going on now, somebody drops a well, you drop a bubble at the back of the well. Whoever has got the bubble just stands on the back edge of the well and drops their bubble, so the bubble comes in about halfway, and your firing line sets up on the edge of the bubble. And you're getting both bonuses then.
So all of you warlocks that were putting there were free gifts all over Twitter and stuff, you're not free. We still need a well. Sorry. The only ones that are truly free are hunters. All right. So it added allies near ward now trickle void overshield. Also added creates additional orbs on melee attacks near or in the ward. Removed weapons of light moved to Helm of Saint 14.
Yeah. So the weapons of light bonus you
can still get if you're Titan.
Saint 14 if you want it, right? But the bubble will give it to everybody, right? Most likely. I surmise that they're going to make it so if you have the Helm of Saint 14, your entire fire team can probably get weapons of light, so long as it's your bubble that got cast. I would guess.
Yeah, maybe. Possibly. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let's move on to Snare Bomb. They buffed the linger duration after detonation for 5 additional seconds, which is nice. Damage over time that increased by staying in the smoke. They added that. So now there's a dot for if you're chilling in there. So that's cool. A little bit of a buff to it. I like it. Depends how much damage.
This is a sneaky way to stop people from cheesing Master Crota, incidentally. Because right now, on Void Hunter, you can load yourself into Master Crota by yourself, right?
Yeah.
And you take all the knights down to finishable health. Okay? Then you run, you take out one set of boomers, and you go up to the top where the Oversoul's at. And you draw everybody there. Traditionally, you would jump, drop your smoke, right? And then you'll dodge to reapply invisibility when Crota runs up. That smoke will now have the ability, though, with this dot, to kill the knights that you've moved to finishable. I can't hear you, by the way, Greener.
When did that happen?
There you are. It just happened.
Okay.
So this is kind of a sneaky way to potentially
I love that.
Master Crota cheesing a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, you can still do it, but it's going to be harder now because you won't be able to put the snare bomb right there.
Yeah.
That's funny. I love that. I don't know why. I just love it. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. Next on the Trapper's Ambush. We can't linger on things too long, or we'll be here all night. Trapper's Ambush linger duration after detonation up 6 seconds. They've added same damage over time as Snare Bomb, so this is essentially the same concept. Like instead of using Snare Bomb, if you do the thing. Anyway, it still damages the people near it, but it's still using your charge anyway. So if anyone didn't know that. Fixed ground geometry obstruction. I didn't know it was broken, but cool. That's awesome. Next is Stylish Executioner. Glaive melee can now apply the weaken effect. That's good.
Great.
Yep. I'll take it.
More reason to use glaives. Things good.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't used glaives in forever, so. All right.
Shield throw still sucks, no matter what the bonuses are.
Okay.
FYI.
We're still gonna talk about it. Shield throw, PVE damage increase, maximum bounce count increase, maximum lifetime increase, increased trafficking after each bounce up, thrust speed after bounce down, and gravity after each bounce up. So
Yeah,
those last
you're
two
a
are
weirdo.
nerfs, by the way. The first 4 are buffs.
It only matters if you're a weirdo hipster who still is going to use this, even though it's objectively the worst Titan melee in the game.
Okay, there you go. On to offensive bulwark. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bulwark. I'm already losing my mouth, and we're not even halfway through. All right. So this now only extends overshield to default max duration, but it adds partially regenerates overshields with each melee kill.
Great.
Yep. Chaos Accelerant. Magnetic grenades. Knockback intensity has been buffed. PvE damage buffed by 20%. And the magnetic cooldown has been dropped. So, but that's only with the
Chaos Accelerant.
yeah.
Yeah.
The aspect. Pocket Singularity. So that's PvE detonation damage has been increased by 50%. That's the whoop thing, right?
That is the overcharged magnetic grenade,
Oh, okay. So no.
I think. But you could already use this to one-shot champions. So this will be a good, you stun and then use the Pocket Singularity to nuke them. Yeah.
Cool. Fuck. Okay, Nova Bomb. They've got different buffs. So the Vortex duration is longer. The Cataclysm secret count is higher, and they remove the environmental impact on creation for Cataclysm. We want bomb. So all buffs. Buffs.
Yeah.
Arc, Solar, or Strand.
Just go to Arc.
All right. Arc Staff. They added Heavy Palm Strike and Air Slam attacks. Or sorry, they didn't add those, but they added Blind to them. Disorienting Blow cooldown has been dropped. Tempest Strike has an additional lingering damage resistance on cast. More DR, baby. Lightning Surge. Oh, I dropped my AirPods. Hold on. I'm not even wearing it. I'm just holding them. Sorry. Tempest Strike. Did I read this one? No. Additional lingering damage resistance on... wait, I did read that one.
Lightning Surge.
Lightning Surge is the same thing. So additional DR on cast and PvE. Ball Lightning. The final destination volume has been buffed. And they fixed the upward offset. I don't even know what that means. I don't use it. So, what's the upward offset? Yeah. No? Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
It was maybe it just moved higher.
Moved higher than it was supposed to, so
Yeah.
they fixed it. Potentially. We'll see. Chain Lightning. So the secondary chain damage doubled. So buff. Thunderclap. Additional lingering damage resistance on PvE. Minimum damage increase. Oh wait, minimum damage. They added a minimum and a maximum damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
They changed the. It's a move up, but they they moved everything up from minimum to maximum. Yep. Okay.
Cool. Knockouts next. They buff the bonus powered melee damage in PvE by double. They replace the healing behavior with granted health points. Those are both buffs.
Yeah, this is very good.
Yeah.
This gives Titans a great deal of sustain in PvP activities or PvE activities.
That's good.
So we like it.
That's good. Yeah, because I mean, no one uses arc, right?
I mean, a lot of people don't use arc because it doesn't have any sustain unless you put on like precious scars.
Yeah. The only thing I've seen it used for recently is Thunder Crash. Yeah. Okay, so Touch of Thunder, there's a buff increasing the travel speed when attacking PvE targets, and then a nerf that now it applies Jolt after damage instead of prior to the damage.
Okay.
Storm Skip and Art Bolt grenades have all been increased. All their damage has been increased. Spark of Recharge, the buff the ability recharge bonus now persists until the shield is fully recharged. The Spark of Beacons, they added activating arc power weapon kills while amplified. Sorry.
Very good change.
What did it do before?
Gives you ionic traces.
Okay. I mean, how did it activate before? Is what I meant.
Shooting targets, getting kills. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it jolt. It's normally jolted targets, but it I use weapon, get ionic traces from shooting things. That's how it works.
All right. Spark of Frequency, they added weapon stability bonus on powered melee hit. That probably makes sense to somebody. I don't know why that would be added. Nobody
Solar?
needs weapon stability bonus. Do we want to do solar? Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, let's do it. Well of Radiance. The Bane, or I don't know. This is going to piss off half the community and it makes the other half happy. You still have to use well though. Sorry guys. All right, PvE damage resistance down minus 50% on non-bosses and minus 75% on bosses. So the DR is not high anymore. It's still there, but however, Radiant granted when players exit the well. So the idea, I guess, I don't know, get some orbs and then walk out of the well, do damage.
Just means that you can move around and you'll have a buff even after the well goes away for 8 seconds.
Yeah. All right. Heal on cast. So there's a bonus heal on cast if you're in the space, and then they've nerfed the healing per second down by half, I believe. And then orbs of power on kills while on well. Okay, cool. Well, they increased the amount. That's it. I know we beat that to death earlier, but yeah, that's the big nerf to Well of Radiance that's getting people excited in both directions. Lightweight knife has an additional charge by default, and the throw speed has been increased. Knock them down. Throwing knife refund cooldown. Throwing knife refund cooldown has been decreased. Golden Gun Marksman, Orbs of Power, Strength even lower with Star Eater skills.
All right, so here's the deal. This was put in there strictly to stop what's been going on with certain raid bosses and Pantheon specifically, where you've got 5 or 6 Golden Gun Hunters.
Oh yeah, and they were constantly
scales that are just chaining their supers. The whole point of this is to prevent you from being able to chain supers that quickly. So
Okay, these types of things, I blame streamers for.
Or because they do them all the time?
Because they always make their videos and they go viral. And then that's how they find out that it's an issue.
You think this stuff wasn't happening in the high-end community anyway?
I think it totally was. But it might not have necessarily been caught by Bungie as being a problem until 50% of their community started doing it because they saw a YouTube video.
All right, well,
That's what I mean.
that might be fair.
That always happens. Like
Damn those streamers! All the black-pilled losers are right. Fuck you, Salt Greppo. Just kidding, dog. You're cool.
It's true though. It's true.
I'm gonna name this episode "Fuck You, Salt Greppo."
No. I like Salt. He's good, peeps.
All right, I'm gonna name it "Fuck You, Paul Tassi" for no particular reason.
Man, you know what? I'm not even opposed to that.
All right, Titan.
Yeah, consecration. So it now shatters stasis crystals. PvE ignition damage has been buffed. It also does damage resistance and consistency versus floating combatants. It must not have had consistency.
All good.
before.
Consecration is such a slept-on ability. It is so good. Most people are running Soul Invictus and Roaring Flames, but man, you should really skip one of those and put Consecration on. It's such a fun ability. It's so satisfying to use in either PvE or PvP and just watch half the map explode. It's so good.
Yeah, now it's even better. Well, in a week and a half it is. Okay, Hammer of Soul. I don't know how this thing. Like,
They made the hammers. The hammers are better if they stay in the air longer. So the longer the hammer exists before it strikes, the more damage it's going to do, the more additional little, like, when you hit something with a hammer, it throws a bunch of flaming little fragments off of it that also explode. The longer it's in the air, or the longer it exists before it hits something, the more of that stuff it'll do.
they want people to miss their shots. That's what it is.
They want people to use the super, right? From distances even, right? That's what they want.
That's fair. That's fair.
They don't want people to default to burning Maul with Pyrogales all the time.
Well, they shouldn't have made Pyrogale then.
Wait,
Idiots.
You want a hot take? You want a hot take?
Sure.
Pyrogales and burning Maul together are a dog shit super, and you should stop using it. T-Crash is better 10 out of 10 times. If you want a damage super on a Titan, just switch the Thunder Crash and put your stupid square shoulders away, because they suck. Thank you.
Yeah, but you said it yourself. There's no survivability on Arc Titan. There will be now with Knockout, but still not as good as Solar Titan.
That's true. My counter to that is skill issue.
Okay, fair enough.
By the way, solo flawless, my warlord's ruin wearing precious cars practically 100% of the time. So also skill issue for me.
Okay.
On Solar Titan.
That's funny. All right. Swarm grenade, tracking shape size, linger duration, and PvE damage all buffed. Boom, boom, boom. Bam, bam, bam. There you go. Strand. We're moving on to Strand.
All
Here
right.
we go.
Strand. Rip my PvP Strand Hunter mains. So sorry.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into them and then we can talk about why. First off, threat of warding, wolf and mail duration down 5 seconds instead of 10. Ensnaring slam. Okay, so detonation volume versus players is now a cylinder instead of a sphere. Okay.
Yeah, this is big because it's not going to be as easy to hit somebody with an ensnaring slam. It's going to be much easier for people to evade the ensnaring slam and leave you looking like an idiot doing your stupid superhero landing in front of them, stuck in animation for a second while they just beam you with a shotgun.
I've never, I barely go against anybody using Strand effectively like that anyway. It's so easy.
It happens more in higher end lobbies.
Yeah, what are you saying, huh?
I'm saying you suck or you're in the middle somewhere. And Strand has a very high skill ceiling currently.
Fine. All right. Threaded spike. Damage versus players is down. No longer breaks invisibility.
That's for prismatic, since it's going to be on the prismatic hunter. So you can throw the knife, go invisible, and not become visible just because you caught the stupid thing.
I see. Okay. All right. Weaver's Call added strand damage kills have a chance to create perched threadling. And this includes threadling kills.
Threadlings are back, baby.
They're back. They're back. All right. Here's some more buffs or nerfs. Grapple and grapple tangles. All right, grapple tangles. Full duration refresh replaced by a gradual decreasing duration increase on consecutive use.
Your grapple back.
As low as 1 second. Oh, God. No instantly getting your grapple back. So, RIP, 2 things. Yeah, basically, hunters have an issue with this. And the damage Titan fucking thing that people were doing. That was crazy. All right, and then they removed grapple melee, no longer usable when firing between the grapple activation and the grapple melee. So yeah, both these are basically to stop that damage cycle.
Yeah, so this is the grapple melee not being able to use after firing your weapon. That doesn't affect PvE so much. Because you can still grapple melee, fire your shotgun to trigger 1-2 punch, and then continue the cycle of hitting the grapple point, doing your melee, re-triggering 1-2 punch over and over and over again. It just changes the order of operations in which you might do that. This primarily affects PvP, where people would fly in with their grapple, shotgun somebody or hit somebody with a hand cannon while they're still in the air, and then instantly go to a melee that was able to be procced. It was the grapple melee, right? And that would be a one-hit combo basically, right? It'd be a blint basically.
That sounds awesome.
And yes, both Walla and Frostbolt, who both are known for abusing this mechanic specifically, had nothing good to say about it. Wall is like, why is Bungie nerfing me specifically? And Frostbolt was just super salty.
Tough shit. Okay. Banner of War, the maximum timer is now 24 seconds. Down from something. I don't know what.
From 30 seconds.
From 30. Okay. And diminishing returns when using Synthosaps / Wormguide Caress.
Good.
Yeah, it makes it a little less powerful.
I don't think it was enough. I think it should have taken a harder hit than it did, personally. But...
yeah, they're probably testing the waters here with this, and then they'll see. They don't have a test team anymore, remember? They got to test it on us.
I think it's still the strongest ability Titans have on strength.
Oh, absolutely. It's so strong. And then what we have here is Into the Fray. The melee regeneration scaler in PvE has been nerfed. And then Frenzy's Blade. They added a forward offset for melee lunge target point. The only other thing that I had on here, which was general super regeneration, damage-based supers, energy gains now the same for all cooldown tiers. This increased cooldowns for low cooldown supers and decreases cooldowns for high cooldown supers.
Yeah, but they increase the amount you get from kills, the energy you get from kills.
Yeah. So there you go.
All good.
That's the ability sandbox, chat. And listeners. Chat and listeners. All you beautiful humans.
Alright.
Alright, the armor sandbox changes are it's much smaller list. So if there's anything you want to talk about, feel free to bring it up.
I mean, the long and the short of it is all your exotics that were focused on one particular element, they've all been modified to allow some version of the perk to work on whatever on any element, so that it can work with prismatic. That is really the crux of this change.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna first start with general stuff. We're gonna talk about the exotic armor can now get artifice upgrades, which is sick. I'll take it. So you get the obviously you get the slot, but it has to be fully masterworked.
It's only sick if they give us more ways to earn exotic ciphers than we already have.
Okay, whatever. It's so easy to get exotic engrams, though. Like, who cares?
It's not exotic engrams you get them from. The only place to get exotic ciphers currently are from your season pass.
No, but I get exotics from them, and then I can fully upgrade them, and then I can add.
Yeah. You wanna add the masterwork to it, so you can have the additional slot. Here's the thing: how do you get exotic ciphers, which is the currency you're gonna have to spend to do that? Well, there's only two sources of those. One is getting them from your season pass, and I would bet money that exotic ciphers with this change are going to disappear from the season pass altogether. There won't be a single one on there, none. Which means.
But what do you need the ciphers for?
You have to. It costs a cipher to upgrade your armor, not an engram. It costs a cipher, an exotic cipher.
Well, I know the engram doesn't upgrade it. A cipher. Was that on the new?
No, these are exotic ciphers are existing currency. You only get them from two places, and they're used for like doing some focusing and grabbing stuff out of the kiosk currently. No, right?
But I've never used a cipher to masterwork my exotic armor.
You use it for focusing. It's part.
I knew the focusing. Okay, yeah, I get that. So you need it for focusing. If you want to focus on something,
you're going to need it to activate the artifice slot on exotic armor. That's a currency that's required to turn on the artifice slot on your exotic armor for the stat boost once you've already masterworked it.
Okay, I didn't write that down. So.
Anyway, there's only two sources of exotic ciphers.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
One's the season pass.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely going away if this is becoming part of like just regular currency. There's no shot it stays. The exotic ciphers that are in there stay put. The other source is doing Xur's quests every weekend, which each one requires you to do 21 activities.
That's good. That's how you get people to play the game.
I play a lot of Destiny, and even I don't do that. Also, it's not even just any activities. It's ritual activities, specifically.
Oh, they're fun, though.
I ain't playing 21 Strikes. I'm sorry.
Just go play comp.
I haven't played PvP in weeks.
Oh, my God. All right.
I'm just going to go play Gambit. But, unless surely they're going to give us more opportunities to earn them. But right now, everybody's saying how good this is, but I don't think anybody's considering what a pain in the ass it is to currently get ciphers.
Well, the good news is I still got my Firefox extension to get my previous season's worth of shit, and I've never used exotic ciphers out of them. So
2 seasons maximum that can go back. I think.
Nah, I think you can go back further than that. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it's just 2 seasons.
Nah, your face is 2 seasons.
My face is 45 seasons, actually. But
that's true. Okay, let's keep going. Subclass matching on exotic armor, like you said earlier. Exotic armor that requires matching your subclass now only requires matching your super. That's the prismatic concept. Yep. So heavy and special ammo finder mods. Progress no longer resets on death. No longer works in PvP. Wait, it worked in PvP?
Yep.
That's stupid. Okay. Player kill no longer grant progress in Gambit. Yeah. Okay. Wait, it didn't work in Gambit either. What is this talking about?
It did work in some instances. You just didn't know about them.
Oh. All right. Increased kill requirement on fire teams. There you go. Raid armor mods. Removed mod energy costs completely. And new mod, strand resistance. Reduce incoming strand damage from combatants. Dun dun dun! Why didn't we get that for Lightfall?
Because Lightfall was a hastily put together expansion, mid expansion that they weren't planning on doing originally, and they didn't think it all the way through.
All right, calm down. All right, let's do Warlocks. So Mantle of Battle Harmony grants more super energy based on targets killed. So that's a buff, and the activation cooldown has been removed. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, there you go. I don't even know how to pronounce this one. Balador's Wraith Weavers.
Wrath Weavers, yes.
Oh shit, it is Wrath. Fuck. Why'd my brain add an I no matter what? It's so weird. Anyway, replace stasis.
You're Canadian.
Replace stasis. No, we add use to things. Okay? Like color and labor.
Yeah, like Diablo.
Diablo's not a Canadian thing. That's just a me thing being weird.
Okay.
It is. Ask any other Canadian. They'll probably say Diablo. Anyway, maybe they won't. I don't know. So they replaced the stasis shard overshield with frost armor. You know, going back to the frost armor thing. Rift grants max frost armor to you nearby allies. That's cool. With frost pulse equipped. Winter's Wrath Shatter grants max frost armor to nearby allies and grants max frost armor to you when Winter's Wrath ends. So lots of DR. I see lots of DR. It's a trend. Trend here.
What stasis is about now.
Imagine. All right. Second filaments. Empowering Rift now resets Devour duration when entering. Ba, ba, ba. All right. That's cool, I guess. Yeah. Can you step out and back in and out and back in and out and back in and keep...
Probably.
That's neat. Or can you just stay in it and Devour cooldown won't drop until you leave it? That would make more sense, but maybe that's not how they're going to do it. Alright. Verity's Brow now instead matches your grenade damage type. Oh my god! Because of... Guess what? Artifice. Or wait, not Artifice. Prismatic.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah. Sunbracer's got nerfed. Alright, solar grenade duration increased halved. Halved. Alright, and grenade regeneration rate up 4 grades to 5 grenades.
Alright, so here's the deal. The only nerf here is that it's not extending your solar grenades themselves, how long they stay on the field, right? The 2 seconds is actually a nerf. The 4 to 5 or 5 to 4 isn't a nerf. Sunbracers has 100% uptime. You can chain melee attacks, powered melee, over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And if you're good at it, you can have your Sunbracers active basically for the entirety of any combat encounter. Anybody that's complaining about this being some huge nerf and Sunbracers are broken, are trash now, is fucking stupid. I'm talking to you. Whoever's complaining about this right now, you're a fucking idiot. That's right. These are fine. This is not anything remotely close to the fusion grenade nerf with the last Warlock grenade buff or Warlock grenade nerf that actually caused some problems for the exotic. This is nothing. You still have all the uptime. The only time this is a problem is that solar grenades could be used to break a well sword in PvP, and now the grenades you would use to break the well sword can no longer do it on their own. That's it. That's the only case where this is legitimately a nerf. So everybody else that wants to bitch and moan about it, I invite you to go fuck yourself.
There you have it. All right, Cenotaph Mask. Are both nerfs. Sorry. Multiple players using Cenotaph no longer activates it when using the same target, and now hides the visual marker for the wearer.
So this was creating a situation where 3 warlocks go into a GM. They all use Cenotaph to mark the same target. Somebody kills it. The target literally explodes like a piñata of heavy ammo. That's what they're trying to. That's what they're trying to stop here, and they will. The nerf where the change where you can't see the enemies you've marked. That seems a little weird to me, like unnecessary, but it's whatever.
There's a reason. I don't know what that reason is, but there's a reason. All right, let's get into the Titans here. Oh, so close to the microphone. Sorry, everyone. So Ursa, all right, works with the new Unbreakable aspect while guarding, increased movement, speed, and grants super energy when taking damage. Just adds, so it works with the aspect, so that's good. Internal Warrior, arc weapon damage bonus no longer requires an arc subclass. Prismatic.
No.
Yeah. Armamentarium.
Armamentarium. Yes. The double grenade exotic. Yes.
All right. Built-in free firepower mod. I don't even know what firepower does though.
Creates orbs on grenade kill.
Boom. Easy. Built right in. Built right into the chest. All right. Capri's Horn got a bunch of buffs. All right, double solar blast damage in PvE, now scorches on every hit, and now benefits from Ember of Eruption and Ashes. So, enjoy. Have fun. Boom. Heart of Inmost Light now only displays 1 status in the HUD. No functionality change.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know. Did a bunch of stuff come up and like confuse people? Or?
Yeah. So the way Heart of Inmost Light works is that it buffs the strength of your class ability in your grenade if you use your melee, or your class ability in your melee if you use your grenade, or your grenade in your melee if you use your class ability. But it displays all those buffs separately, so it could take over your entire buff section all by itself.
Lovely. All right, so now it doesn't do that. So that's nice. Synthoceps buff linger duration down to 5 seconds from 8. And Severance Enclosure.
This is an actual nerf, by the way.
Yeah, looks like one. Explosion now requires line of sight. Okay. Now requires spending a melee charge or using a finisher. And knockback intensity has been changed.
Yeah, legitimate nerf on an exotic that almost nobody used.
That's weird. Maybe more people use it than you thought.
Nah.
Bungie has the real numbers. You don't get to make things up.
And it'll still... Probably the easiest way to use Severance Enclosure is to make your throwing hammers nuclear throwing hammers. It doesn't even stop that, because you can still throw the hammers and cause nuclear explosions wherever you want. So, because it's a powered melee every time.
All right, last one, ladies and gentlemen, is the Hunters. The Hunters. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Everything, right? All right, so Triton Vice no longer requires matching your subclass. Prismatic, say it with me. Melee buff now lingers for 5 seconds. Dragon Shadow now works on Ensnaring Slam and Ascension. Probably Prismatic? I don't know. Foe Tracer. Weapon buffs now apply based on the damage type of the ability used, allowing multiple damage type buffs with Prismatic. Jeez, it's right. It's written right in there this time. I didn't even have to say it. All right, the 6 Coyote, built-in free Reaper mod. What's Reaper do?
Orb on melee kill.
That's weird for 6 Coyote. It's a double dodge exotic. Why does it have a melee?
Because it recharges with hunters. It recharges your super. It recharges your melee ability, right? If you've got the right dodge on.
Who doesn't use the reload dodge? Losers.
Lots of people use it. If you're running
the only thing that makes sense is the Arc Hunter. That's it.
Yeah,
Every other
you're running
thing
Arc
you should be using it to reload your heavy weapon during boss damage. Just saying. Sorry. All right, next. Renewal Grasp. They replace damage resistance with the frost armor to coincide with the frost armor thing, and grants additional stacks gradually while inside the dust field and refreshes the timer. That's cool. Star Eater Scales. All right, required number of orbs for maximum benefit has been increased. Bum, bum, bum. It used to be 8 anyway.
Yeah. Now it's just 6.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Super energy gained per orb when using golden gun has been decreased. So
Significantly.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about that.
Just means no super chaining anymore. It's all right.
That's all.
You'll live.
That's all it is. Yeah. And then Assassin's Cowl now requires spending a melee charge or using a finisher. I assume for the invis or the heal.
Probably both since they're linked.
It didn't before? That's crazy.
Is Assassin's Cowl even listed in here? I don't see it listed in here.
It's a change coming. The final shape.
Okay.
If you listened to the podcast last week, I had things. No. If you listened to it last week, I was going through things that I owed Bebo on, and I used an old AI conversation to help me build the points. And it had a ton of stuff from old conversation, and I didn't realize it when I was doing it. I was reading shit off, and people was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But I know I saw this change for the final shape. If it's not in this, because I didn't use AI for this. I specifically said I'm not doing that again because I felt stupid. I said 4 or 5 things last week that don't exist.
All right.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. Anyway, this one's happening.
All right, well, that's it. Shall we move to the Twid?
Yep. Fuck. Yeah, the Twid. All right. Shit. There's so much stuff to go over. All right, we're gonna blast through this. Okay, first off, there was 2 vid docs dropped this week. One focused on I just watched them today and I can't remember. The second one focused on more of the weapons and stuff, some of the weapons that they're doing, because they wanted to do the whole deck of cards that was similar to the Ace of Spades. There was some weapons there that were you shoot people in the heel, and then you shoot the bad guys, they do damage. I don't even remember the rest of the stuff. I'm not gonna lie. What was on the first one? Do you
I haven't
remember?
watched either of them yet.
Okay, hold on. Give me 2 seconds to look at just the timeline here. What were they talking about? Okay, so the first one really just talked about the Pale Heart. Some of the spaces that were happening there. Talked about the Witness. But my biggest takeaway was it gave us our first voice lines from Zavala, or as Keith David as Zavala.
I saw that. I saw that clip.
That's from the first vid doc that released on Wednesday, and it's good. I always know what Keith David sounded like. Obviously he's even got an even more commanding voice than Lance did, but and it's a little intense, but I think it still fits with the character.
I saw it. Sounded good to me. It was definitely. Obviously it's not same guy, right? This isn't a swap out Cade's voice situation where a lot of people didn't even know anything changed, right? This is definitely more obvious, but I think it's fine. I did see some Twitter hate about it, but I assume those people are just racist.
Yeah, most of the stuff. Lance was black too.
Shh, 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 shh. Details.
I guess that is not a very well. Neither is Keith. I was gonna say Lance isn't a very black name, but then neither is Keith. So
what is that supposed to mean?
yeah. What do you mean? What's it supposed to mean? You know, people have. Shut up! Don't come at me. You know what I mean. You remember that Call of Duty clip from back in the day?
No, I don't watch racist Call of Duty clips.
There was just one that was a long time ago where the guy was complaining about getting flashed, and he says, "Why every time I flash somebody, it's like they get a little slap in the face with a napkin, and then whenever I get flashed, it's like some big brolic black dude named Requise comes in and pulls a sheet over my head and proceeds to skull fuck me." Have you ever heard that before?
Listen, chat or whoever's watching this video. The views expressed by Greener are his and his alone. They do not necessarily represent.
It's the funniest video ever
of the Shrouded gaming community, and definitely not misdirect. We disavow officially Greener's racism.
What is racist about that comment?
It's all right. Shall we go on with the twid?
Jesus Christ. All right, and then the second vid doc, like I talked about it earlier, is actually it focused a little bit more on weaponry. I'm
changing the name of this episode to Greener's Racist, by the way.
No, you can't do that. So they talk about the supers in the second vid doc. Again, I know we saw a bunch of stuff on that back in August when they actually released that shit that everyone was like, that's it, and then they had to cancel, or they had to delay the final shape. Anyway, doesn't matter. And plus a bunch of weapons. And then they talked about. Okay, this is the one thing that bothered me. They talked about the strike. Okay, now the word "the strike" really bothers me. How is it you get a full now? There's no guarantee, or they didn't say anything about this, but the way the woman, she designed it, she was talking about it. She wants players to cry when playing this in Grandmaster, which is fine. That's totally cool. But they were talking about this strike, calling it the strike, all this stuff. So it leads me to believe that we're potentially, once again, only getting one fucking strike from a full expansion. I really hope that they just are not talking about any of the other ones, because I think that's the dumbest shit ever, and I hate it so much. Like,
listen, man, they're never going to give us the amount of content they gave us in Forsaken. It's never going to happen again.
I just want at least 2 strikes in an expansion. At least 2, not 1. 1 is not enough.
I agree.
We got 2 for Witch Queen, which was great, and they're fine. Lightblade is great, actually, but I don't know. How many did we get in Forsaken? I don't even remember any of the strikes in Forsaken anymore. They're all gone out of my head.
They should be giving us a minimum of 2 strikes, 1 Crucible map, and I know this is going to be controversial, but 1 Gambit map in every one of these major expansions. That's just how it should be. But
at least. No, it should be more than that, to be honest. Paying $50 for this shit? Like,
not enough people are playing strikes, so no strikes. Not enough people are playing Crucible, so no maps. Nobody's playing Gambit, so no maps.
And nobody raids. Does anybody play Destiny?
Who's playing this fucking game?
I don't fucking know. You know what?
The biggest number in the Eververse store, so people are still playing that.
The biggest amount of activities done, actually, if you look at like the stats, are patrols. So it's casual people.
All right, so we need more patrols. We need like 47 new types of patrols.
Yeah, patrols and public events are the most popular activity in Destiny.
Anyway.
Yeah, that makes me sad.
Yes, you're absolutely right. For what is probably like the capstone of Destiny 2 and the Destiny story in general, here's 1 strike. Seems a little... They're taking under deliver like too far.
We'll see when it comes out. Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll have like a secret one for us. But or maybe this.
No. They'll add some more battlegrounds into the Strike playlist. Don't worry about it.
There isn't anymore, right? Surely they've done them all at this point.
Riven's Lair is now part of the Strike playlist. Smile.
Oh my god, that would be. All right. Anyway, yes, we talked about that. Or we're gonna move right along in this twin. The second part is they mentioned the cinematic. If you haven't watched it, stop listening right now because we're gonna talk about it really quick. Bum 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 bum. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so end of season cinematic, which we should have got, 7 months ago. Is out now. If you haven't done the mission, go do it. It's a mission about somebody's trying to fake being the Veil, yada yada yada. Go destroy the said thing because it's blocking Crow's attempt to get into the Pale Heart.
They're actually using the Black Garden to create a simulation of.
Well, I wasn't gonna go that far, but okay. You get to go back to the Black Garden and basically get to redo. You get to redo the Destiny 1 boss fight at the end of the game. So it's not the same, but you gotta go destroy the Black Heart. So go do that. And then once that happens, and once you leave that mission, we get a new cutscene, and it's actually really cool. You should check it out. But we're still gonna talk about it. So, first off, the cutscene is Crow coming through the portal, falling down. Boom, or does a triple jump and lands on the ground because he's a boss. Might be a double jump. I'm not sure. So he lands, and then all of a sudden, out of the shadows, comes an adversary that starts shooting at Crow. So Crow takes off running and starts shooting back at him, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, we all know this adversary is Cade, but Crow doesn't know right away. We're not going to get too much into it. TLDR, Cade gets the upper hand after... which dodge does the... What's the name of the dodge that does the melee ability?
I don't remember off the top of my head. Acrobatic dodge, I think. No,
okay.
Acrobatic dodge is not. No, it's not acrobatic dodge, but he does the dodge that gives you back your melee ability. It's very.
And there's nobody around. It pisses me off so much. It's so triggering. Because the whole concept of that is you have to be near an enemy. Anyway, so you did it wrong, Bungie. You fucked up. He should have done Gambler's dodge. Wait, is that the? I think that's the reload one. Because immediately after he dodges, he jumps behind a rock and reloads his Hawkmoon. It's like, do you know, whoever was the director of this, do you know anything about Destiny lore? I'm even smarter than you. Good lord. Anyway, it ends with Cade standing over Crow. This is what I was mad about at Paul Tassi this week. We'll get to it in a second. Standing over Crow, Crow's ghost pops out. Cade realizes that Aldrin has died and has been reincarnated and lets his finger off the trigger. And then they have a little powwow.
Not before they do a scene that's the same scene as when
yes.
Cade got killed by Crow.
And when Zavala got saved by Crow. Same thing. They've done it multiple times. I think they should have just skipped the Zavala one. I think it would have been way more powerful to just get the Cade dying one and then the Cade not killing him one. To have all three of them, like just add Zavala in there. They probably didn't plan on doing that when they did the Zavala thing, but they're like, fuck it, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Anyway, so I had a point. Oh my god. All right. So Paul, you know how sometimes we get mad at Paul because he's like on these really prolific Destiny podcasts, but he really doesn't know anything about the game?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, he tweeted out.
I saw the tweet. Yeah.
That it took him, I don't know, like, I forget exactly how it went, but long story short, he didn't understand how Cade knew that Aldrin had died.
He had a ghost.
It literally pops out, and Cade's like, "Oh, okay, we're not enemies anymore. You're a different person." Like, I totally understand. I get it immediately. Like, I hate Destiny lore. I never, but like, I knew immediately that is why Cade, stood down. It's like, oh, the ghost. Okay, he gets it. He understands. And then he's all cool about it. I get it. All right. Anyway, there was a lore. Just to be clear, there was a lore entry that explains, basically, well, we think explains why Cade is alive. It's on the ship that you get, I think. Or the ghost.
It's the ship.
It's the ship. If you read the ship, basically, we don't know for sure. We're speculating, but you know how Bungie does this. On the ship, it says Crow was talking to Mara, but people think it was Riven disguised as Mara because twinkly eyes or some bullshit. I don't really know. And Crow said he wished he could just tell Cade that he wouldn't do it again, or that he regrets it, or something like that. And then immediately after, he jumps through the portal, and Cade is alive in the Pale Heart. So they think, at least the theory is right now, that Riven granted that wish, and that's what brought Cade back. And as soon as he apologizes to Cade, in theory, if you believe this concept, as soon as he apologizes to Cade, Cade should cease to exist, right? Like, if you think about it. Yeah, because all he wanted to do was say, "Oh, I wish I hadn't done it."
Who's to say how Ahamkara
wishes work? Yeah, I suppose. You're absolutely right. I guess with that said, who do you think's going to die in the final shape? Someone's got to die, right? Do they kill Zavala?
Maybe multiple people. Could lose the whole Vanguard for all we know.
Well, that's fine. Our chorus sucks.
I don't know.
I wonder who's going to go out. You can't have Cade go out again.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but it'd be dumb, right? Bring him back just to kill him?
I mean, could be.
Maybe he disappears after they've succeeded or whatnot.
Yeah,
it's part of the wish, but not like die again.
Just fades away.
Yeah,
Says
like
see ya
Titus
as
does
he
in
fades
Final
out.
Fantasy X. Sorry, I had to bring in some dork stuff. I chose Crow. You really gotta hate on for Crow, man. He's a little bitch, but like.
All right, stop reading chat. We're not there yet.
Oh yeah,
we
got
got
right.
more.
He might
Follow the world's first race on Twitch Rivals.
All right.
One last thing about this cutscene.
Oh yeah, sure.
When I saw the cutscene, I thought to myself, "This is not their typical cheap ass end of season cutscene. This one is fully rendered, high quality.
Looks great.
Looks really good. I'm wondering to myself, did they just steal this right out of Final Shape and just shove it in the season now? Are we gonna see this again at the start of Final Shape as the opening cutscene? I think we might. Anyway,
that's possible. Or they had 9 months to cook a nice little end of season cutscene for us to get us excited for the Final Shape.
Nah. I'm assuming reused content. They're just reusing content they haven't actually given us yet.
Nobody likes Crow, but do you just because you don't like someone, do you think they should die? That's crazy. You guys are psychotic.
So, world's first race on Twitch Rivals.
Okay, so world's first race, Twitch Rivals, June 7th. It says active at 9:30. So does it go live at? That's 1:30.
That's because presumably you're going to be online before 10 a.m. reset, so you can get right in. You can get right into the queue and be ready to go. So you'll be
Okay.
streaming ahead
Oh,
of
that's
time.
half an hour before. See, I was thinking it's half an
Yeah.
hour after. Okay, never mind. My brain melted. Okay, cool. So we've actually been officially accepted into the Twitch Prime or Twitch Rivals raid race. We never usually compete that seriously, but the good news is, if you watch, you'll still be able to earn 2 sexy emblems from our stream. We might as well show them to you. I think it's that one. Yeah. So this top one is probably the better of the two. Ironically, unfortunately, that's the one you can get for watching any Destiny 2 streamer during their day one raid race. This is the exclusive one you'll be able to get by watching a Twitch Rivals player, which is what we were getting. So basically, if you watch our stream or anyone else on Twitch Rivals, technically, you'll get both of these if you watch for 2 hours. So this one and this one. I like this one specifically because the witness is just like staring me down. And I don't know why, it's funny, but I enjoy it. This one is nice too. It's nicer than I remembered. You're also going to get a ghost chat badge. So if you don't know what that is, you have a badge in your chat. Like some people have Prime Gaming, some people have the weird cake, some people have some other stuff. You can choose which badge you actually display. Like for example, when I'm somewhere, I usually display my partner badge, but I can switch it to. I think we'll be getting ghost badges, so that's pretty cool. And you only gotta watch for 15 minutes, so that's even better. I want a ghost badge. I'll probably never use it. I really like my little check mark, just because I'm retired to get that. But all right, next up is they're increasing the Brave shiny drops next week, so get ready.
So all you people that have been bitching and moaning about the shinies don't drop enough, you can shut the fuck up.
I've only gotten 2, so I kind of hear them.
Bro, I got 5 in 1 legend run.
Okay, well,
They were all terrible.
I don't know what to tell you.
They were all broken down into shards.
I got my super black the other day too.
Great, you can be an edgelord just like everybody else with boring fucking fashion.
You want to know what's ironic? I still use my charity one on my hunter, but I put the super black on my warlock.
Let me be
Because I didn't want
to say on this podcast that super black looks shitty. Doesn't look good. It's bad, especially on guns.
Oh, well, who would put it on a gun?
People that want all black weapons.
Yeah, but the memento from Festival of the Lost is better.
I know.
Okay, we'll just use that. Idiots. Okay, anyway. So yeah, just get ready next week. I wanted to let you know. We're not really going to talk about Pathfinder, actually, I've decided. There's too much shit here.
We're not going to talk about Pathfinder?
Wait, do you want to?
I mean, I'll just cover it very quickly without the details. So instead of like doing bounties or whatever to increase rank for your ritual vendors, you're going to have this Pathfinder system, which basically is a choose your own rewards by going through a sequential number of challenges until you get to an end where you would get your big reward, your pinnacle drop or whatever, and then you can reset it and do it again. Now, you can take as long of a path as you want, and you can pick which challenges you want to do in there. But what the Pathfinder system is going to try to do is get you to do things for the best rewards that are a little bit more difficult or things that you wouldn't typically do. So we don't know what all the objectives are going to be. We don't know specifically how it's going to interface with each of the individual vendors, but I mean, we'll see it when it gets there. But this is going to be the way that Bungie is giving you the ability to play what you want to get your rewards, kind of like we do right now with the pinnacle rewards or the Ingram rewards from the ritual vendors. Like you could just play your 9 Crucible games or 9 strikes or break it up 3 and 3 or whatever, right? This is going to be replacing that, but with incremental rewards as you go. So there's a little rewards track that you can kind of pick the path you want to go. Every time you do one, it's going to give you an option to go to some others that are attached to the same nodes and work your way through. So pretty cool.
Cool.
Hopefully it's worthwhile.
There you have it. Yeah, something different's always nice. We've been doing a whole ritual bounty thing for a while now. Just a quick touch on some other stuff. You can check out this week's TWID to find out some of the bonuses and things you can get. They're also updating the quest tabs for the final shape, hopefully to make it look better. Your legendary shards are officially going away at the launch of the final shape, so use them. Bungie recommends you buy enough raid banners for a lifetime. If we had enough inventory slots, we would. Losers. Week 4 of Pantheon is here. It adds Riven and Nezarakt. Riven doesn't have any...
Wait a minute. You can't gloss over that they're enhancing private match PvP. They're adding a whole bunch of new options.
I did not care about that at all.
Well, a lot of people do care. So they're enhancing private match PvP and giving you a bunch of extra options on how you set your settings. So,
there you go.
Okay.
Exciting! We can do more Crucible events. Riven is the exact same. It must have been ironic. They knew they didn't need to add anything for Riven. They just needed to get rid of the cheese. And then Nezarakt has got a bunch of little changes. Well, not a bunch. You need the buff to kill the Colossus. And you can't stand on the plates for more than like 3 seconds or you just get nuked by a laser beam. So you can't do damage from the plates, if you're curious. That's it. That's it down here. Last thing I want to go over is I keep debating whether to do this next week, but by next week it's going to be too late. So we got to talk about it real quick right now. All the content entering the Destiny content vault in 1 week. Well, how long is it exactly? Let's see here.
Everything is going away.
10 days, 15 hours. That's what I wanted to
well,
probably earlier than that. 10 days. You got 10 days.
9
right?
days. It's 9 days.
Oh,
because
shit.
On the game
oh, they
will be
go
down
off
on
on
the 3rd.
Monday. Right. Yeah.
24-hour maintenance.
24-hour maintenance. Okay, you got 9 days. Listen up. You got 9 days. All right. So what you're losing. Season of Defiance. Season of Defiance story. All missions. Defiant Battlegrounds. Helm. War Table. The Farm. Seasonal Bounties. Defiant Keys. Defiant Engrams. Artifact. Ascended Scepter. I guess that's not important. But Brazen Spark Ship. Common Nobility Sparrow. And Scribe Trace Shell. Those are all the things you can't earn. Or sorry, the exotic things you can't earn from that space. Season of the Deep, all the story missions, salvage deep dives, the Whetstone Wicked Implement, that's an exotic weapon pursuit. The location, Helm, Sonar Storage, the Plunge Dive Tank, seasonal bounties, deep dive and salvage keys, deep engrams, fishing tackle, artifact, I don't know, I keep reading that. We don't care about the artifact. The exotic equipment pursuits that you won't be able to do is the Arkashic Revelation Ship, the Sio Chain Scuba Shell, and to be remembered Sparrow. Also, you think they're removing fishing completely, right?
Yeah, they are removing fishing completely.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't write it down. So. I was like, do they remove fishing?
That's why it's time for the server role to be retired.
No, that just means it'll... Okay, no. It's too hard to get that one. You got to keep it around for a little while. Yes, the fish tank will be gone. No, yeah, that whole space will be reused. All right. Anyway, Season of the Witch, all the story missions, Sabathun Spire, Altars of Summoning, the Embaru Engine, the location, the Athenium on the helm, the seasonal bounties, the witch keys, the witch engrams, powerful, robust, and feeble offerings, the artifact. Jeez. The exotic equipment pursuits include the Lamina Sparrow, the Fire Mako Shell, and the Sparagemos Ship. All right, Seasonal Wish, all the story missions for that. Riven's Lair, the Coil, the location, Helm, Spirit of Riven, and the Spirit's Anchor. The seasonal bounties, the layer keys, the wish engrams, the wish tokens. Get the wish tokens. And the exotic equipment pursuits are the Gloaming Journey Sparrow, the Weimgard Shell, the Laurel Shell, and the Fire Guilt Quadriga Sparrow. Next is the end of all the stuff. Not all the stuff, but from End of the Light. But End of the Light quests are all leaving. The Pantheon's leaving. The Hall of Champions. The Trophies of Bravery. Super Black Shader. Parade Armor Set. And the limited edition weapon variants. So the shinies. So next week you get double the chance for shinies. Get in there and get them now, because it would be your last chance. You will be able to earn the other weapons, but just FYI. And then the depreciated items that we're losing: legendary shards. We're losing all the Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit bounties. We're losing mods, minor, major, boss taken, and adept big ones, and crafting resources, resonant alloy, and harmonic alloy. So there you go. That was the best time. That's there. I wanted to get that out there this week, no matter what, because if you want to do any of that stuff, you got to do it now. Okay. You've got 9 days to get it done. That's it. And then you're over. So I think that's all of us for today. Got any plugarinos? Oh, look.
There's the otters from the little link.
I didn't even see that, man.
It's actual animals for once, and not just like some bullshit Twitter post. It's still bullshit because this isn't anybody's pet or whatever, but
it doesn't matter. They're so cute.
At least they're cute. At least they're cute animals this time.
Let's go. Love it.
Do I have any plugs? I do not have any plugs. Well, you know, I take that back. If you are still attempting to do Pantheon, or you have completed any of the Pantheon weeks so far, do not forget that you can get in and claim some server roles. There's a role that's associated with each of the difficulty levels of Pantheon. You just need to go to the Pantheon role request and put in the details about what level you've completed. If you helped anybody new to Pantheon get their clear once you've already gotten your own on any level, then you can also claim the Get in My Backpack role. Now, you must have completed the tier at which you've done the carry before you carry somebody else. All right. And then we've also added a Godslayer role if you manage to complete the whole thing. That's done through the Warmind system, and it will apply automatically once you claim the seal inside the game. So there you go. We will not have any events for the first month of the Final Shape. However, there will be a day one role for anybody who manages to clear the raid. So I don't know what that role's name is going to be yet, but there'll be some announcement about it here in the next week. So all you're going to have to do is get in with a full SGC team and clear the raid. It doesn't matter if it's your first clear or your second clear. Like if you do the raid with a bunch of sweaties from the low man server, but then you come in and do it again with a full group of SGC people, you will be able to claim the role still. So anyway, get some team together, give it a shot. The Crota raid, that was my first time that I had a legitimate good time working the raid. We did not get it. We got Crota down to just like his health bar was completely empty, but he must have had just a few hit points left. That was the closest we ever got, but it was a good time, and hopefully we're going to make it through this next time. So, and having completed Godslayer, you know, I think we can do it, even though a lot of the heavy lifting was done by the people I was with, but I think we can manage it.
I carried everyone I was with.
The second time.
The first time, too.
I was watching your stream, Greener. Every 2 seconds, you were like, I'm terrible at this game. I suck.
And I still
Why am I so bad?
Alright, it wasn't that bad.
Especially on the Rolk encounter. Oh my gosh.
What are you talking about?
Every time I tuned into the stream during damage, you were like, I would do that, except I'm bad. Every time there was a damage phase, I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad.
Alright, I was one of the people that wasn't dying over and over again on Rolk, so I don't know why I was so hard on myself. Anyway, it's all good. All right. I'm not gonna plug anything other than if you made it to this and you're not in our Discord or you're not part of the SGC, you should do so. ShroudedGaming.com/Discord. Check us out. We do a bunch of stuff on Twitch, on YouTube, and Discord. We have a big Destiny community, 24 clans, lots of people. We do events. We give away silver, final shapes. Have some fun. Get in there, and yeah, just be part of an awesome Destiny community. With that tries to have as little drama as possible, but there's always something going on. To be completely frank, we are on the internet.
You can't have a 12,000 person server without having some drama. It's impossible. Your cat's got some drama right now. I can hear him.
She wants treats and she's being a bitch. Can you wait 5 minutes? All right. Okay. I had to pet her. Maybe a little quieter down. That's it. We're gonna yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this week of Shrouded episode 63. I had a great time. Lots to go over. Lots of new stuff for the Fallen Shape. Super excited. I'm AGreener. This is Mr. Wrecked. Thank you guys so much for coming, and we're out.
Stop complaining and being a whiny bitch.